Hello and welcome to another episode of Phillies Unfiltered along with Brent Tracy. I'm Jim Russo. Brent, how are we feeling today?
Pretty good, pretty good. The team has been winning, and they look a little better while doing it than they had. So I'm okay. I'm okay. How about you?
I feel about the same. They do look better at points. I mean, some things that seem like the strong suit aren't, and then some things that seem like they're not the strong suit are.
Right.
So Jekyll and Hyde team as they've been for the last several years. Hey, but they're winning. So
Yes.
we're feeling a little better today. We got a little bit of catching up to do since we didn't do this last week. So we're going to start by 2 weeks ago at this point, sending Andrew Painter down. He had a couple abysmal starts. Which was clearly a last ditch effort before all the movement happens. We're trying to figure out who's starting in his stead, and we've gotten that guy and Alan Ronhell. And at least he's been like, we've had an opener in front of him, but when he's pitched fairly well. Thoughts?
Yeah, I don't know how tenable that is long term because I just don't think it's gonna. For right now, it's been fine to patch the hole, right? It's been fine to sort of be a short term stopgap measure, but they're gonna need, I think, a fifth starter, and I don't know, where that comes from, but I don't like the opener thing. I don't know that Ron Hell is the long-term solution. You're right. He's pitched better than I expected him to, and certainly looks better than he has in his past stints with us at the
Yeah.
big league level. But I don't know how much hope I have for that continuing down the stretch. I think we maybe need to, if we can, get a back end starting pitcher in some form or another. And I don't know how that looks or how they go about doing that. I don't think you should give up much, if anything, to obtain that. But four starters and this kind of mishmash at the five spot, we've seen this
Yeah.
before, and it really wears on some of the other guys in the
Yeah.
rotation and the bullpen.
I really hope that they can figure something out as far as a fifth guy, because they clearly don't have one down in the minor leagues. I
Yeah,
don't know if we're going to see Andrew Painter again this year.
I
His
doubt it.
start yesterday was meh. I
Yeah,
mean,
I saw the line.
he's got a lot of work to do, a lot of maturing that's needed. So we'll see what happens there. And we got some time. Hopefully they figure it out. They need somebody like at the end of last year when they picked up Walker Buehler, like that kind of guy, not that guy, but some kind of player
Right.
like that, in hopes to replace anything at the fifth spot to hopefully eat some innings and maybe help secure a couple wins. But our 1, 2, and 3, they're helping us win for sure. So 3 out of every 5 is still pretty solid. So we'll see what happens in the near future. When the deadline comes up, and a lot closer than we think. But so we're still stuck on 2 weeks ago, which was the first series of the season against the lowly Mets. And how about that Kyle Schwarber? What a performance! It's not mentioning Bryce's cycle just yet, but Kyle Schwarber to start here, 5 home runs. What is this?
Yeah, I mean, he's just doing what you expect him to do, and you hope he would do, is just mashing the ball.
Yeah,
And I'm loving what I'm seeing. The offense in general has picked it up. You know,
yeah,
Trey has started to get on base a little bit more. He's not, at least I feel like he's trying to simplify at the plate. He's not doing as much of the big looping swing. I think he's trying to be shorter to the ball, at least from my observations. I think he is. But yeah, I mean, Schwarber's just. I mean, that was on was it Sunday yesterday? That was clutch. That home run. You
yes,
said we needed. It was necessary, is what you
yes,
texted. I
necessary.
said I said Schwarber, and you said that was necessary, and it was.
Yeah.
They needed that when they had it happen because that was a grind of a game. It was they couldn't break through.
And
It was tough, and he came up with that hit at the exact right time.
that game was a struggle to watch yesterday.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, there was just moments where can Orion hit the strike zone? But thankfully, the Mets just ran themselves into a couple outs.
Yes.
Swung their way out of a few outs, and then it was very helpful. So thank you guys. But he's been huge. 30 home runs already this year.
Yep.
84 games into the season. That's the fastest any Philly has done it. And do we see 60? Yes, no.
Who knows? It would not surprise me, but I mean, I did hear something today. This is like an unparalleled run that he has had. No free agent has ever signed with a team and hit this many home runs. In the amount of time that Kyle has done this, and he's not slowing down. I think we've talked about he's going to be pushing 40 by the time that this contract ends, but Kyle at 40 years old, he could be still hitting 25, 30 home runs a season. It would not shock me at all.
I mean, look at somebody like a Nelson Cruz. Look what he did.
Yeah.
He was in his 40s when he was still hitting 30 bombs a year. So.
Yep.
And I think another important factor is that he's hitting for singles too. He's not just hitting home runs.
His
he's
average
over
is
250.
It's sneakily up there, for him. And he's walking as he always does. He's getting on base. Striking out too, which is part of his game. We just, you accept that as part of it because the good far outweighs the bad with Kyle.
But
so
you're striking out a whole bunch, but you're getting hits a quarter of the time.
Yep.
And
Sure.
a lot of them are home runs. Who's going to complain about that?
Exactly.
I mean, and they're not cheapy home runs either. He hit 913 feet worth of home runs in one inning.
Yeah, that last, not this past weekend back at CBP, he was launching them into the upper decks. I mean, he was just, they were no doubt about it. Shots,
a row apart and a foot apart. That's target practice. That was awesome. But it's not just Kyle Schwarber bringing up this offense. There's that elite guy in Bryce Harper.
He's doing it. He's looked great.
Questionable triple for the cycle. After watching it a few times, I can, as a biased Philadelphia sports fan, I can agree with a triple. Anywhere else, it's probably a double.
Yeah, I don't know if I really am worried about that.
But hey, you know what? I'm happy for him. He got
it.
So.
He hustled. But to your larger point, he is producing. He's been clutch lately. He's been hitting some homers lately, and he just looks comfortable. He's not chasing pitches. He's seeing the ball well. This is the best Bryce Harper has looked in a few seasons, really. Yes. I mean, from the beginning to now, he really hasn't had any periods of just really bad struggle this season. He's been pretty consistently solid. His batting average is, I think, in the 270s right now.
Very good.
That's great. I'll take that from Bryce, and he's got 19 homers. That's fantastic.
At this point of the year, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, if he gets you 30, 35, and Kyle's doing his thing, that's where your power's coming from. Those are your two big power guys. That's great. Losing Adolis Garcia did hurt because I think he was starting to figure some things out, and having that right-handed power would have been great. But, and this might segue into what we were going to talk about at some point, they're getting production from other areas. Obviously, Brandon Marsh. How can we forget Brandon Marsh?
A good buddy.
He continues to hit the ball. He has been just he just keeps hitting. He has not fallen off since last May, really. He just continues to hit the ball, and it's everything. He's hitting for base hits. He's hitting for power when it's in his wheelhouse. He's not missing those pitches. He's, again, just like Harper, he's seeing the ball really well. And
he really is. He's all
it's
over
great.
Every fastball.
Yeah. And I mean, he's getting his strikeouts, which is going to happen sometimes, but he's also making contact. He's battling, and he's having much better at bats than, say, 2-3 years ago when he first, Yeah.
You would think at the beginning of last year, he was looking at a fastball down the middle for strike three a large amount of time.
Yep.
But now he's aggressive, and then when he's aggressive, he's hitting the ball, and he's hitting it hard.
Yep.
He hit, how many home runs did he have in Washington? And he had one each game? But
I think at least 2, but yeah, he may have had, I don't know.
And I think he did hit. They might have hit 3, but when he's hitting them a long way too.
Yeah, those weren't those were out by a mile.
And-
The ones to right field.
Two of the well, at least one of them was a huge home run for this team. So we can move on to Washington right now.
Yeah.
What a series! At least the last 2 games. So made some history, especially in game 2. There, scoring 8 runs, all with 2 outs.
Yeah.
In the 9th inning for what ended up being a 14-9 win. Like that,
They exploded.
We took the lead in the 8th. We gave up the lead in the 8th, and then next thing you know, the floodgates opened after Trey Turner had a good at bat, got on base, left it for Brandon Marsh, who tied the game with a homer, and then got some more guys on, and Bryson stopped my guy. It's a 3-run shot, and the wheels keep going. They just keep scoring, and it was one fun inning to watch.
It was, and I couldn't believe it. They just kept going. It was just like that was great. Derek Hill really making the most of his opportunities, both at bat and in the field. I mean, we can't forget that insane catch he had this weekend.
I tweeted out after that catch. I said, "Holy Hill." We'll try a little play on words.
Love that. Yes.
That was incredible. That might have been one of the best catches I've seen while watching a game.
Yeah. No, and honestly, my favorite part of that whole thing was Zach Wheeler's smirk at the end.
All of them. Yeah.
He's just like, nice. He just, he's just like, that was good. Right. He just. But no, I mean, I like how pumped Hill was, and I think it says a lot that Marsh was like, Hill is the best hype man on this team. And, previously I think Marsh, everybody would have said he was that guy, but Hill seems excited to be given this opportunity. He's making the most of it, seems to be a good platoon role player kind of guy. Do I expect him to be a stud throughout the rest of the season? No, but I think he can contribute, and we've seen what he can do defensively, and he has his moments at the plate. So far that turned out that has been a good move by Dombrowski, just kind of adding some depth to our roster.
Yeah, we were watching the game against the Nationals, the one where Hill tied it. Mm-hmm. Was he tied or take the lead? Now I don't remember, but I think it was take the lead.
I think they took the lead with the
lead on that homer,
just out in McCarthy. It was like,
it took him a little bit while to decide that was gone. But Noah sitting on the couch and said, "Imagine if Hill hits a homer right now," and then we're just watching, and suddenly turn it up, and next thing you know, it's carrying. It's long pause gone. That was pretty exciting. I mean. A huge moment. It's fun. It was fun watching him. Like
he was excited. Yeah, it was like Little League. He loved that. Yeah,
having a good time watching him. He's not some guy that's going to blow the doors down.
Right.
He's been fun to watch. He's one heck of a defensive outfielder, and he's contributing offensively. He's got good speed. So he's a good platoon guy. So I'm very happy with what he's done, and he hits a home run the next day, and that wasn't a cheapie either. So it's big moments for this team from the little guys. You can call them the little guys, not your stars.
Right, and you need that.
Yeah, absolutely. How are you going to win a championship if you're not going to get it from your little guys? Right. Derek Hill in a moment like this, Bryson Stott in a moment like that.
Yep.
If their name isn't Turner, Schwarber, or Harper, at this point Marsh too, we need those other guys. Like Bohm is driving runs in. I'm sure he's hitting into 7 double plays in a game.
Yeah, yeah.
And we need everybody to contribute, and in the moments that they have to contribute. JT got a big double. He got lucky that Wood couldn't hang on to the ball in that 6th inning.
But you got to put the ball in play. That's
good things can happen. You tell that to the kids when you're coaching them, and you're going to keep telling them that when they're adults playing the game. If you put the ball in play, you never know.
Yep. Absolutely. So yeah, no, it's been fun to see that. I think this is what we talked about last time, right? Like they were winning games. This was a couple weeks ago when we last did our last episode. They were winning games, but there was just something not there. There was like a lack of excitement, enthusiasm. Just it was just they were going through the motions almost. I'm not seeing that as much. The last week or so, there's been a sort of an emergence of spirit and energy with
Yeah,
this group,
you
and
can
a
sense
lot
it.
of that is Derek Hill. I think that gets. I mean, the whole team was jacked up over that home run robbery.
Oh
Like
yeah,
that's the type of thing that does get the rest of the team going. And I'm not crediting it all to him this resurgence because I think Harper is feeling it too. Schwarber is just doing what he has always done, um, and he's not quite as like but Harper's been showing a little bit of emotion too when he's been getting his big hits, which is great. So yeah, I mean, no, it's been more fun to watch. We're creeping up on those Braves, which
yes, we
is
are.
uh, good.
Three
It's
games.
fine. I'm not terribly concerned about necessarily catching them at this moment in time, but I like that we're closing the gap and making it a tighter race, and it
It's
only helps us to give us that that lessening of the gap between us and the Braves
well,
because it's we're winning
two
games
months
in
ago.
series.
2 months ago, you thought they're going to run away with it. They were
Sure.
at this point now. It's a competition. We got a chance.
But we
Do I?
gotta beat them and the
Yeah.
other
I mean,
elite teams in baseball.
but the Braves are breaking down quite literally. There's a lot of
Hmm.
injuries, especially on the with the pitching side, and they're going to lose contributors because they're all going to start trying too hard, and
Yeah.
it's not a good formula for winning. They're still a good team. It's not going to change that. It's just the health is an issue.
Well, and they have a similar issue to the Phillies in that their core is aging, right? Like they're not that young anymore. Like Albies is up there. Acuna has had a lot of injury issues in his career. Riley has had some injury issues, and he's not a spring chicken anymore. Like they're getting older, And I mean, I think we're a little bit older, our core, but not by much. It's you know w- these teams are very similar in their makeup in a lot of ways. Um, but to your point about the pitching, we do have a really good starting staff, especially
Yeah,
the top end of that. I mean, Wheeler and Sanchez have been as good as the top two guys in a rotation can really be. I mean, have they
yeah,
been absolutely perfect? No, but looking at their records, their ERAs, I'm very happy. They're both sub 3.
yeah.
They're
They're
looking
barely over two.
yeah, it's like 2 something. I think Sanchez has 9 wins, Wheeler has 8 wins right now. The point is the team wins when they pitch most of
They
the
do.
time. And if you talk about kind of this kind of relates back to the conversation we had earlier about that 5th spot and what they're doing with that. If the offense can keep performing at a high level, and I would say during the Mets series they struggled a little bit. It was a little more of a grind, but if they can perform the way they did during the National series, which is to say scoring in bunches, that's going to help that situation because you can throw anyone out there to sort of do an opener or just mishmash
Mhm.
it to get to the later innings. If the offense is performing, it's really not going to matter who's on the mound as long as they're just being serviceable. They don't have to be dominant. Just eat up innings, let the offense just outslug the other team in that situation, and you can still win games when that spot comes around. But they're in a good spot. They have turned it around.
They are.
Mattingly has really had a good impact on this team. Really, the only time that I thought they looked really like out of it and overmatched since he took over was the Brewers series. That's
Yeah.
really the
Uh,
only time. Other than that, they have looked in control, comfortable, and like they know what they're doing and they know what their mission is. And I give Mattingly a lot of credit for that. He has helped
I
to reset the mentality.
I've only questioned maybe one or two decisions of his so far.
Yeah.
And that's putting in Seth Johnson at any point. um, and at this point, Kyle Backus.
to,
Uh,
to be honest, the pen over the last week has
yeah.
really got me concerned, and
Out-
it's Duran's the
Outside of
only
Duran.
one
Yeah.
right now, yeah, that I'm like, because he's saved, I think, 21 of 22, which you can't
Yeah,
ask
he's
for
been
much more
excellent.
than that. He's on pace for a 40 save season. I mean, he's looking great. Um, but yeah, the rest of the pen, I mean, I don't know. I have some concerns there. I think we have to monitor that, and they're going to probably have to make a move or two to bolster that. You and I were talking. The name Aroldis Chapman came up.
Yep.
Intriguing,
Very intriguing. But who do you give up for somebody like that?
Yeah. Well, he's older. They might not demand
but
as much for him, but
he's still electric.
Sure.
He's still got great stuff. I mean, his fastball is still very tough to hit.
Oh yeah.
But imagine how shorter the game gets.
Well, yeah. Basically, if you can get to, through the seventh, the game's essentially over.
Like, it's not going to be easy to get through Chapman, Duran in any order. It would be Duran finishing the games.
Of course, he's the closer, and Chapman. Yeah, Chapman would be fine being the setup man, I think, at this stage of his career, and he'd be great at it.
A guy who's been an elite closer
and a setup man. He has done
and
both.
A setup man, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I'd be thrilled, but I'm scared of what they would have to possibly give up because he's still a big name.
Absolutely.
He's still really good.
I think it's going to come down to, like, this window is closing, right? And how much do you have in your system, really? We don't have a lot. We have very few chips left. Painter's not going to be sought after in trades after the first half he
not
had.
This year. No, I'm not trading him anyway.
I'm not saying I would. I mean, I'd be open to it for the right deal, but right now, that's not even going to be on the table. Nobody's going to be discussing him. Miller is on the shelf, not an option. Nori is kind of struggling at Double-A right now, or he had been. I don't know that they're. I don't know if they're going to look to trade him or not. They have a lot of left-handed bats up here, though, so maybe that's someone they actually do think about. Huh?
Maybe Rincones goes. Probably no.
That is
hasn't been performing that great.
No, and they've tried, I think, to see where he fits in. It'll be interesting to see, but I do think something happens. They're not going to sit still. Dombrowski will not make a deal. Like, he's going to do something. It's just a question of what. The people out there that want us to trade for Skubal or trade for Trout, it's like, with what assets do you think this is going to happen?
And we never have and never will be able to get Mike Trout. At this point, it's too late. You're about 7, 8, 9 years too late for him.
Yeah, and honestly, I like Mike Trout, but
yeah, me too.
Why would you want to add another aging, injury-prone guy to the mix of your team? It just doesn't.
Is there anyone more injury-prone than Mike Trout?
No, probably not. So,
no.
And the Skubal thing is dumb. That is not, starting pitching is not your issue. Like you need back end rotation help, not top end.
I mean, could you imagine though?
Well, Skubal, Sanchez, Wheeler. I mean, you have a pretty good shot at winning any series that you're in with those being your three. Yeah. and then Luzardo as a fourth,
who we've seen in the playoffs,
right?
And he was. Fantastic.
And Nola would do nothing in that situation.
I mean, he would just be there. He'd be a warm body on the bench,
right?
just sitting there.
But they're not going to do that because they don't have the assets to bring him in. And I just think it's funny. People are like, they just need to go all in. Yeah, with what chips? They have no chips.
Their chips are already on the field.
Yes, they have nothing in reserve right now. So but again. Who knows what teams are willing to trade for? Maybe we don't know something. Maybe there's a prospect or two in our system that is enticing to some of these teams out there. Yeah,
probably we'll see. Arun Escobar, if anybody.
Yeah, I've heard that name thrown around.
But another point I wanted to hit real quick is just overall communication with this team. You can tell that they've been they've been more energetic and they've been better in the field at certain points. We know Hill made that amazing play, but then there was a play out in center field where he didn't see it. And then Brandon Marsh ran 120 feet from right field.
Loved it.
Closed out and caught the ball in center field.
Yes.
That play stood out to me too.
Me too. Yeah. And he was paying attention. Right.
Exactly.
And two, he had the awareness to see his teammate was in trouble. I agree with you. I think there's it's not even just it's communication, but it's also just kind of a they're on the same wavelength. You're just you're vibing together about things, and clearly there's a camaraderie brewing between
all the outfield,
specifically all of them, but specifically Hill and Marsh. They seem to be becoming fast friends on a personal and individual level. But yeah, I think Crawford is fitting right in with those guys. I mean, Marsh and Crawford, I think, have been good teammates from the beginning. But yeah, no, I agree with you. That was great to see, because you're right. He hustled over there and read the situation, made the play, and just, I think he said something to the effect of like, you made that one play. You could take one off, you
deserve this. But, we're not going to leave Edmundo out here too, because he was heading that way too. They were both him and Marsh were heading that direction, covering for their teammate.
And Edmundo's a great teammate by all accounts too. I mean, they have a lot of good guys there. That's never been the issue with this group. It's not that they get along. They're a great group of guys. They seem like good guys, like in their everyday life. From all the interviews I've seen, they are supportive of each other. They like each other. That's never been the issue. Chemistry is not the issue with this team. It's just execution when it matters. That's always what it comes down to. So I'm glad that they're doing well right now. We're in the very kind of the middle of the schedule, the calendar, the schedule.
Days are coming.
The dog days.
Yes.
It's exactly. I mean, and they're going to have to stick with it. They know that they have the skills. They're seeing it play out right now, but they're going to have to beat the big dogs. They're going to have to beat those division leading teams. You said this a couple weeks ago, that they had these divisional games coming up with people with us and below us in the standings, and that we had to win those series. We've done that. No sweeps, but 3 out of 4 in DC. Great. 2 out of 3 in New York, 2 out of 3 against New York back in Philly. The Marlins have the best record in June, actually,
than us.
And we took them 2 out of 3 when we played them. So, I mean, we're doing what we need to do. And I think, to the point we made earlier, now it looks fun. Now they look like they're actually playing with some danger. Like they look dangerous with the bats. Harper, Marsh, Schwarber, they're not missing pitches when they're right there to be obliterated. They're hitting them. Turner, I'd still like to see him be a little bit more, explosive with the hitting, but I do think he slightly adjusted his approach in the past week in not trying that long looping swing. He seems to be shorter to the ball, and I think that's a good start for getting back to 300 Trey from last year. Yeah. I'm not saying he's going to get the average up to that, but that type of hitting where it's contact first, that's what we need him to do at the top of that order.
Get
Make contact, get on base. Yeah, and use your speed. Like that's you cannot teach that. You have that weapon. If you get on base, that's immediately a threat. I'd like to see Justin Crawford bunting a little bit more, kind of using his speed. I think that throwing a bunt in every once in a while to bunt for a hit keeps the defense on their toes. He has a really great shot at beating it out, I think, just because of his speed. I know Mattingly had been working on that with him and some others, but I think Mattingly sees that Justin's got the speed, and I think Crawford's doing okay. Like I don't think he's not going to be the Michael Harris rookie season. No. It's not. We're not seeing that necessarily, but he's improving out in the outfield continuously. He's been good, I think, from the jump, but he's getting better and better. I think he's finding his place at the plate. It's he's making the pitchers have adjusted to him too, right? Especially these division teams have seen him a couple times, so that's. Now it's like a move and counter move thing, right? You have to now respond to them adjusting to you, and that's him learning as a major league player how to do that. So I like him. I think he belongs, though.
I agree. He makes good, accurate throws, smart throws.
Right, cutoff man.
Yeah, he's hitting the cutoff man. He's not Johan Rojas trying to make every play like something special. Like you don't have to do that. Just make the routine play.
Right.
Make the smart decision, play fundamental baseball. Not that difficult, but he seems like a smart player, and I'm enjoying watching him. I do want him to hit a little bit more, but when he finds his groove, line drives and hard ground balls, or he'll find
that's where he lives. Yeah,
he'll find his way on first base, I'm sure, and then he can take a couple bags.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I agree with you. But
And then
go ahead.
we're really after that we got this upcoming schedule. It's going to be a fun couple games. We got the Pittsburgh Pirates in town.
Four-gamer.
Four-gamer, including rematch Paul Skeens, Zach Wheeler.
Yes.
That'll be exciting to watch on
Skeens
Wednesday.
has been human this year. He's not. He's not.
He's still Paul Skeens.
He's still Paul Skeens, but as in past years, it was like you kind of were penciling that in as a definite loss, and you're like, okay, we'll just have to focus on winning the other games in the series. But with Wheeler on the mound and the way he's been pitching, we have a shot during that game to win. You know, so and you know, Pittsburgh started the season, I think, a little bit hotter. They've come down to earth. They're I think sub 500 now by a game or two. So
they're 500 even.
No, are they? Okay.
Right now, yeah. But we're seeing a lot of young arms this week from them.
Yeah,
all their arms. It's Ashcraft. It's Jared Jones. It's Bubba Chandler and Paul Skeens. Not in that particular order, but those are some good arms. And
right.
So watch out.
And we've got our big guys going. I mean, Ron Hell's going to go at one point in the series, but I mean, we've got our guys. Sanchez and Wheeler are going to both make appearances in the series, so that's good. Nola's kicking it off tonight, though. I don't love that to start a series, but we'll see what happens. What it is. Yeah,
he's got to pitch at some point, right?
No, I know, and honestly, like I said, and Nola fits into this category too of like the same thing we talked about with that 5 spot. Like, just keep them in the game. Like, just don't get blown up. Just if you give up a couple of runs and you eat some innings, give the offense a chance to stay close, because I think they gained confidence during that Nats series that the game's not over till it's over.
No,
I mean, that so just down to the last out, 2 games in a row, and then just saying nope, we're not done, and just it's great. I love it. So I hope that they keep doing that.
No matter how bad that Nats bullpen is, it's still fun.
Sure. I mean, yeah. And it's funny because their bullpen's bad. The Marlins bullpen has been their strength. It's weird, these teams, like how it's such a strength or such a weakness, depending on, with the Phillies, it's been all over the place. At times the bullpen's actually been pretty good, and at other times it's like, I'm not watching this, because they're either walking people or they're just getting hammered by the hitters. They just can't find consistency. But
last question I have for you. Right now, as it stands, how many All-Star starters do we have?
What do I think, or based on what I've seen?
What do you think?
Well, Marsh, I think, absolutely has to start.
He should be a shoo-in. Yeah,
he absolutely should be starting. Harper's the victim of a really strong position.
Yes, he is.
He has had all-star level performance this year, but you're against Freeman and Olsen. It's and Freeman is just, no matter how old he gets, he is still the consummate professional. He just continues to do his thing. I have mad respect for Freddie Freeman. I really do.
I've told Noah this numerous times. If there was ever a Brave I wanted to be a Philly, it's Freddie Freeman.
Absolutely. And across the board, everyone loves him. Like, he's just really, he's smack talks, but he's a jokey smack talker, really friendly with other players, good with fans. Anyway. So, yeah, I think Bryce is going to be the victim of just a strong position, unfortunately. I don't think Stott's going to make it. He might make it as a reserve, but he's in second place for second base. I don't understand that either.
Fan voting does it to you.
Well, I did see something. A lot of fans across the league are kind of ticked because it's all Phillies, Dodgers, and Braves for the National League. That's dominating it.
Think about the market.
True. But I mean, I also kind of hate that. Like, vote for the players that are deserving. I get that you want to saturate the roster with your team if you're one of those big market fan bases, but I don't know. And even Bohm is getting a lot of votes. I mean,
my boycott watching.
Yeah, it's bizarre, but I don't know. I think I haven't really looked at the pitching. I mean, Sanchez I know is up there, and I'm assuming Wheeler's getting some votes too. But
Yeah, I would think they'll be there. I think both of them will be there. I don't think they're going to start at this point. It's going to be Miz.
yeah, and that's not unfair. I can't argue with that.
It makes me sad because I wish it was Sanchez, but
yeah,
this dude is something out of this world.
Yeah, we saw it. We saw it firsthand.
Yeah.
He's, so
105 the other day.
I don't know. I mean, I think Duran deserves,
yes.
He's 21 of 22. Like I said, can't get much better than that unless he had not had one blown save. That's literally all he could have done better.
Right.
The ERA is insanely low too. It's not even like he's giving up a ton of runs and
sub 2,
just squeaking through. He's dominating.
Yes.
So, I don't know. Maybe so. Marsh and Duran, Wheeler, Sanchez, Duran. So 4, I think 4, possibly a 5th, maybe sneaks in somewhere. I don't know. I'd say 4 though, maybe.
Schwarber's going to be there. But he's a victim of Shohei.
Well, right, and I think Schwarber will definitely be there for the home run derby. They're going to put him into that because I know there's not, you don't have to be on the All-Star team to be in the home run derby, right? So I think. And honestly, nobody gives a crap about the actual All-Star game as much as they want to watch people launching baseballs into orbit. Which how has it taken this long to have a home run derby at CBP? That should have been. It's a great year for it, and I'm absolutely going to be watching that because Kyle's going to be in it, and he's got to be a strong favorite at least out of the gate to have in his own ballpark, going to be comfortable there. He on top of the fact that he's just insanely good at hitting home runs. I'm looking forward to that performance. I think it's going to be great.
I wonder if Bryce somehow sneaks into the All-Star game, if he's going to be part of the Derby too.
I think you could make the argument. I think it depends on who declines. I think that's going to all play out that way. But what do you think? How many do you think are gonna?
Marsh, Duran. I'm probably on 5 here. I think Wheeler gets a nod, and Sanchez and Schwarber is going to be there. Marsh is going to be a starter, and everybody else obviously is a reserve of some kind. I mean, I think if baseball is smart, Brandon Marsh 100% deserves a spot somewhere in that outfield.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think he'll get it. I do think he'll get it.
He should. And good for him, honestly. He's just been so good. He's been fun to watch. You think he's going to get a hit every time he's up there. And
absolutely.
It honestly feels that way. It seems that way at this point too.
Yeah, there aren't many games that he goes over. He really finds a way to put the ball.
Many games it's just one hit.
Yeah. It's a lot of multi-hit games, yeah.
So it's good for him. I don't know what else to say about that.
No, I agree.
But yeah, I think it's time that we wrap this guy up. It's exciting week coming. Hopefully get some wins in here. So tell us where they can find us, Brent.
All right. Yeah. If you guys want to watch us, you can watch us on YouTube at Phillies Unfiltered Podcast. You can listen to us on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts. And if you want to follow us on social media, you can find us on Instagram at Phillies Unfiltered, Facebook, Phillies Unfiltered Podcast, and Twitter/X at Funfiltered, PHUNPHILTERED.
All right.
And want to thank you all for continuing to stick with us. We've had busy work schedules, crazy just events and life happening. This has just been an insane set of months for both Jim and myself. And thank you for hanging with us. We try our best to do this weekly. We truly do. But this is not our primary gig, so other things
get us when you get us.
Exactly. We try our best, and we will continue to try our best to put out episodes and content and give you our thoughts on things. We love hearing feedback from you. The social media has been great. Facebook, Instagram, we're getting a lot of response from you guys on likes, follows, and comments even about things. So it's great to get that feedback. We really appreciate it. So that's my 2 cents. But I'll let Jim finish.
Seconded. But as always, it's that time, Brent. Go Phils.
Go Phils. See you guys.
See ya.